Leona St. Louis with alamogordolive.net, and I'm here with Teresa Ham, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the quality of life gross receipts tax. Now, there's been a lot of misinterpretation about this tax, so you're here to set some things straight with us. So tell me a little bit about the misconception and what you want to get across to everybody.
Okay, I have spoken to a number of civic organizations and many people across the county, and one thing people do not understand is that it is a gross receipts tax, which is added on to retail sales throughout the county. It is not a tax on your income or a tax on your property, so it's a little different kind of tax, and it's generated by a lot of entities that don't impact the average family. One of them is the construction industries in this area spends over $137 million a year, and they have to pay gross receipts tax. And this is a very small tax. It's 0.25%. So we've done a lot of analysis of the average family and what they spend on retail purchases and things through outside the cities in the county, and it impacts the average family only about $5 to $10 a year. So it's a very minimal amount of tax that will generate funds to benefit a lot of wonderful things in our community.
So, for example, if I were to go up to Cloudcroft, which I do often and purchase things up there, I would just be spending a tiny fraction of a bit more, and that money would stay in Otero County for different types of humanities like the arts and things like that.
Well, actually, Cloudcroft is a municipality, so if you went into the city of Cloudcroft, you would not be paying this tax. And another misconception people have is that the municipalities, which are Alamogordo, Tularosa, and Cloudcroft, they pay already almost 2% more than the people who live in the county. The people who live in the cities, the municipalities, are already 2% more than the county. So this additional 0.25% that the people living in the county spend is less already than the cities pay. And everyone in the county has has access to all of the things in the municipalities in the city, so they can come in to the libraries, the museums, the Performing Arts Center, and all of the things, the benefits that we provide here in the cities.
Now, this is a very good thing that people just don't really understand the technicalities behind it, I guess. And it's, once you mention the word tax, everybody starts to freak out because, you know, gas is higher and things like that we're really struggling. But as a community, the humanities, it actually can improve our living situation.
Right, and many organizations like Boys and Girls Club, COPE, ZIA, and all of these organizations for many, many years have had to have major fundraisers. And one thing about this community is that people are wonderful about volunteering and giving. And I've lived in this community for over 4 decades, and I've seen people all through these years really working hard to raise money for Boys and Girls and Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and all of these organizations. And this money that's generated won't take the place of those volunteers and those people who work toward making those organizations better. It will just give them an opportunity to make application for the funds to supplement what they already do, and it will be a really big encouragement to people who volunteered for such a long time for these wonderful organizations.
Now, also if this tax does pass, it'll also open up more funding that the county has spent towards these organizations.
Right. Right now, the county commission has about 51 organizations that potentially could apply for these funds. One good thing about this tax is if it passes, it will be overseen by a citizens group of 9 to 15 people, and only one person has to be from the largest municipality, which is Alamogordo. The rest of these people can be people actually living in the county, or it can be people from any one of the municipalities, and they will take application from all of these organizations that support the humanities, the libraries, the museums, the zoo, the fairgrounds, the Otero County Fairgrounds, and our 4-H programs, and all of those programs for children. and they can make application, and then this council will make recommendations to the county commission. One good thing about this is we call it a revenue stream that will be designated for the humanities and these things. The county will still have funding from PILT, which has been cut quite a bit this year, and many of the organizations have had their funding cut. But the county will still have this other stream of revenue. And so one of those organizations that might not qualify for the specifications that the state set up for this money will be able to, the county will be able to help them through this other stream. And some of those are the senior programs up in Weed and Sacramento, the libraries up there. And people in those rural communities sometimes don't have the same things that we have in the municipalities. And so the county will have this additional revenue to help them, and it will be two streams of revenue, which will be good for everyone in the community in the county.
Now, something like this, as far as we're looking at money is concerned with the amount for gross receipts, about the average, what would a family be paying per year? And also, would it be mainly coming, well, you said from different organizations like the construction people that come in, but also from tourists that come through the area too?
Right. I live in Tularosa, and when I drive home frequently from Alamogordo, from my work or other things that I do in the city, I see tour buses parked at the pistachio farms and the big travel center, and a lot of this money, and there's no way for us to really measure that amount, but a large amount of money will come from tourism. And these are people traveling through using our roads and our utilities and all the things that we have in our cities and county. And so this will be a great way to generate a lot of money. So if this doesn't pass, we'll be leaving a lot of money untapped, and it will really, it's a shame if it doesn't happen, it really would be. So I'm encouraging people to vote for it because it's such a minute amount, and like I said, average family will only be impacted about $5 to $10 a year. And as you said, Leona, just the couch change that you find in the crevices of your couch. So
or in the car. So if you, all that exactly. And I was always taught that if you have extra change, to start putting it in a jar, and basically you wouldn't be even spending that much a year on this tax, and this is something that will help the entire county, not just Alamogordo, but all of Otero County.
Right, and it's amazing how rapidly that 1/4% can be multiplied and do so much good, for such a little amount of burden to each family and each person. So the good that it does far outweighs the cost to us. And I encourage people to think of us as a community and not so much look at, what it will do for me or will not do for me. And in the 1960s, President John F. Kennedy ran for president, and he said in one of his very famous speeches, he said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." So I encourage, the Otero County citizens to think about what that small sacrifice, which is really minuscule, that they make, and what a great benefit. And when we did the analysis of how much money it generates and what it would cost if every family spent the maximum amount on the tax, it is only about 20% of a burden for the average citizen, and 80% from the construction industries and tourism. And another example is the prison down in Chaparral. They generate over $20 million a year, and they pay gross receipts tax. So that would be a lot of money that we would leave on the table too. So
Yeah, that's a lot of money that comes into Otero County. If this is passed, then, you know, like she said, the citizens won't be paying as much as we assume that we're going to be paying, especially because the word tax is so scary. But the bigger organizations that have to pay that gross receipts tax will actually be paying 80% of that. We won't be paying that much at all. And it's only on items that we will be purchasing outside of the cities. And also, like you said, if people go and, let's say, stay a night somewhere and use the electric and have to pay at an RV park or something like that, that will be taxed, but it's 0.25%.
Yeah, that's 25 cents, 25 cents on $100. So that's really, really a small amount. And I would encourage people to vote for it. It's such a good thing. And the other thing that I like about it is it's local money that is used for local things. We don't send it to Washington and have it administered and diluted and come back to us. We generate it in our county. We are able to regulate what it does. And the other thing I like about it is that the Citizens Council will, they will oversee it, and they can hold our commissioners accountable. They will ultimately make the decision, the commissioners will, but we can recommend to them. And all of these organizations make application, and the money that they get is somewhat like a grant that they receive for their programs. Another really good thing is to remember is that over 500,000 people went to White Sands Monument in 2010. And then 85,000 people visited the Space Hall of Fame and some of the other really interesting cultural and humanitarian things that we offer in this area, and recreational things are tremendous. A lot of traffic out of El Paso and Juarez going to Ruidoso. All of these people will generate some of this tax money that we will benefit from in this county. The other thing is, in the county, when you make the entire county and all of the services that we offer better, it makes it a more attractive place for people to move. And I would point out, too, that the businesses in the county and the construction industries, they don't have to pay this. This is a tax they add on to what they have to charge for their products. So it's not like we're taxing the business. They just add that tax on. And people used to say it's for the governor, you know. That may not be a good thing to say anymore, but it's an add-on tax. It's not one that's going to burden the businesses. So I think that, you know, people will probably never miss that 1/4% or 25 cents.
25 cents on $100. I don't think I think I lost that already this morning.
Yes, probably. Yeah, me too. So anyway, I'm just encouraging everybody to think about our community and how it can make it better. And as we make it better, we can help the construction industries who help us a tremendous amount. So it all works out really well for everyone, I think. So
It takes a community to raise a child, is what they usually say, but at the same time, it takes a community to build up the community. And even though this is more of a retirement community, there's a lot of youth here, and this can benefit both. More projects for the youth. I know they definitely need more stuff to do. You hear a lot of them complaining that there's not enough to do, but at the same time, if we don't come together to help that, then we're actually part of that problem. And for example, like the senior center, things like that, we can all come together and pay very little bit, and if we don't want to, we don't have to. We just don't shop in those areas, and you know, it really does benefit the entire community.
yes, I agree with you, and I just really encourage everyone to get out and support it. You will find it on the front of the ballot when you vote, if you vote early or if you vote on November the 6th. It's right there on the right-hand side, and I would encourage you to vote in favor of it and vote for our community.
Let's keep Alamogordo thriving and growing for everyone, young and old. Thank you so much for telling us all about this.
Well, you're so welcome. Thank you for letting me come.
Thanks.